Let's go. Let's get it. Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3.
Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Yeah.
Good. Hey man, how you doing, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Marvin Tan FM podcast. Myself, 36 Method Lee. Hey man, introduce yourself.
I go by the name BoiBlacc, more of an identity, but you know what it is. With Kapaleo, we just get into it.
Yeah man, interesting name. Where did your name come from though?
Yeah, so BoiBlacc venye mesema ni identity.
Yeah.
So you see how in basically in primary school, that type of thing.
Yeah.
I got singled out because of being dark and everything. So kusema kwa Kiswahili anakuanga yule BoiBlacc, una get?
BoiBlacc.
Yule BoiBlacc. So yeah, so I went with it and I embraced that type of thing. So yule BoiBlacc, ni identity.
For sure, man.
Yeah.
So what do you exactly do? Take us through that.
I am an artist. I make music. I love making music. Actually, I make records.
Records.
I make records. We agreed with Hippie that we'd be calling them records from now because these are not songs. They're records, you know. They're records.
For sure, man.
Yeah. So that's what I do. I produce. I do the whole 9 yards, you know.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah.
What is the last project you created?
The last project I was a part of was the Get Hip album. Get Hip album was we dropped it in May, just right before the show that we did, the Get Hip Festival.
For sure.
Yeah, that's the most recent project we've done. Yeah.
So like, you haven't talked about what genres you do exactly. Could you talk before you talk about the album? What genres do you do?
My bad. I make hip hop. We experiment, you know, with the different genres, but hip hop is usually it's like a middle ground for me, you know.
Yeah.
I'd say I make experimental music, but there's always going to be an element of an influence from hip hop.
Hip hop.
Yeah.
Nice. So let's talk about Get Hip Volume 1. So there's gonna be a Volume 2, right?
There's gonna be a Volume 2, Volume 3, and so on.
So for sure. So why do you call yourselves family friends?
So call ourselves family friends simply because that's what we are. Me, the Swamiii, Hippie, Tui, where these people we've become family.
For sure.
These guys are my bros, you know. So we, in every sense of the word, we're family. And we're still friends at the same time, so you know, why not? Family friends, that's exactly what we are.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So like, let's talk about what is the process before you made the album. What is the thought process? What did you exactly do so that you could achieve the final project? That's the album.
Okay. So ideally how we'd work on an album is, you know, record a bunch of music, of course with a thematic influence.
Yeah.
Going through the selection that you have. That's how you'd make an album. But for the Get Hip album, it was impromptu. It was sort of on the spot. About a week before we released it, we had not planned to release anything at all. It was just we thought about it. It was a conversation we're having during a meeting with, you know, my bros, and like, yo, we need to release something, you know, just
for sure
for the people. So so this one was very impromptu. We didn't have, you know, like a theme or an idea behind it. The only thing that I'd say we did was maybe work on the track list.
Okay.
So tuliachia Hippie Okazi, he worked on the track list.
Yeah, for sure.
And then he checked with us beforehand, and like a week later we had the album.
For sure.
Yeah.
When exactly did you drop it?
We dropped it around the 15th of May.
And you had the event on 16th, right?
No, on the same day, yeah. So actually, no, we dropped it on 13th. When did Kendrick drop his most recent album?
Mr. Morales.
Yes.
I can't remember.
I believe it was the same day, yeah. So it was the Friday before that, because the 15th was a Sunday.
That was the event.
Yeah, so that was 13th.
You guys had an interesting concept. You performed the songs from the album.
Some of the songs from the album.
Or was it all of the songs? Did you perform all the songs?
Actually, no. Here's the thing. Most of the songs we performed,
majority
of them are unreleased.
For sure.
A few of them might have been from the album, but probably none. Probably none of them on the album. Yeah.
But that's interesting because like I've never seen an artist in Kenya like perform unreleased songs and the crowd was vibing along with the music. That's interesting, man.
Yeah, it was a risk. It was taking a risk, but I guess it worked out. Yeah.
That's how you.
That's how you learn.
That's how you learn for sure. So like, let's talk about previous projects before the last one.
Yeah.
What projects did you work on before?
So okay, in that order, I'd say before this, most significant was The Swamiii released a tape. It was called 1447.
1447. Yeah.
That was a proper project.
Yeah, nice.
He featured me on one song.
Yeah.
I think it was called Easy. He featured me on that particular song. The rollout was proper. The release was good. The listening party was something else.
For sure.
Yeah.
Where did you host the listening party?
The listening party was done sides of Roslyn.
Okay.
I don't remember the venue, but it's a really nice place, a nice setting. Very intimate. Yeah. So the album was good. That was probably 2021. No, actually 2020 still.
2020.
It was 2020. Corona time.
That's around the same time for Black Circle, right?
Around the same time.
Crazy,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. So there was that, and then before that there was the Blacc Circle.
Yeah.
So the Blacc Circle was I think that was a time when I was very, like, I had tunnel vision with regard to completing that album, in as much as when you start these types of things,
For sure.
you don't really have all your bricks set out in place and everything.
Yeah.
But that time we were hungry. We still are, but there was a hunger. Like, we'd record these tracks on a weekly basis.
Okay.
And before you narrow it down to, I think we had 8 tracks in the Blacc Circle.
Black Circle.
Bro, I don't know how many songs we recorded. It could be upwards of 20.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So some songs didn't make it to the.
A lot of songs didn't make it, and that's usually the same case even with the Kilihippie demo. But I'll get to that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So the Blacc Circle was really a time when I got to learn about myself. You think you know yourself, but there's so much about you that you only start to learn when you expose yourself to different situations. You step outside of your comfort zone.
For sure.
Yeah, you start learning about yourself, and that was a Blacc Circle for me. Like, it was me just experimenting and stepping outside my my bubble.
For sure.
That type of thing. Yeah, before that there was the Kilihippie demo album.
Kilihippie demo, yeah.
And the mixtape to go with it, that was the Beloved B-sides.
Yeah, for sure.
So Kilihippie demo was that was a heavy album because it had heavyweights on it.
Beloved B-sides.
The Kilihippie demo.
Kilihippie demo.
Actually, both of them,
Yeah,
both of them,
yeah,
both.
Yeah,
Now here's the thing, and you notice that a lot of the artists, the collaborators that were on the Beloved B-sides,
Yeah, for sure.
if not all of them, they were also on Kilihippie demo.
Okay.
So the tracks on the Beloved B-sides were the ones that just, they were hot and everything, they were fire, but they just didn't make the cut for Kilihippie demo. So that's why we had the Beloved B-sides.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah.
So like most of your songs are produced by Kilihippie, right?
Like nearly entirely my whole discography has been produced by Kilihippie, with the exception of a few songs that maybe I've collaborated with people on.
Yeah.
And there are actually like a bunch of tracks that I've produced for myself.
For sure.
Yeah. But yeah, most of them are unreleased.
Okay.
Because it's just not time yet, I guess. But majority of my discography is all Kilihippie.
Okay, for sure. You produce for yourself as well?
I produce for myself.
And what's the criteria if I want to work with BoiBlacc?
Yeah.
What's the criteria?
You got money. Nah, I'm joking. Okay, yes. If you like hatuwezi kosana, but if you'd like to work with me, I guess you know, there has to be that chemistry. There has to be a mutual understanding, you know. Like we have to kick it for a while, because that translates a lot into how the music sounds, you see. I'd put it like that. And, you know, just love what you do. If you love what you do, then probably you're talented at it.
For sure, man. So that's why you work with Kilihippie a lot.
That's why I work with Kilihippie, because this thing is as important to him as it is to me.
For sure. If I go to IG, I look at Family Friends, and it's written it's a record label.
Yes, it's a collective, I guess.
So it's not is it a record label per se?
Okay, it has features that would make it
a music label.
Fit the criteria. Yeah.
So do you plan on signing new artists in the future?
In the future,
yeah,
definitely. It also requires like an influx of resources, you know, that type of thing.
For sure.
Signing artists, but as it is, it's a 3-artist affair, you know. But yeah, definitely in future, we definitely wouldn't mind having other people on board. You know, there's so much talent out here. Like,
for sure.
you can't get me started. You know.
Yeah. So let's talk about philosophy.
Okay.
Like, you're talking about how did you plan the video? It's a nice video. How did you? Who came up with the whole concept?
So philosophy was recorded about, the song itself was recorded about a year, maybe nearly 2 years before we did the video.
Yeah.
Nearly 2 years.
2 years, that's crazy.
Because that was around the time I met Tui for the first time.
Tui.
Yeah, and then we just, you know, we kicked it, we chilled a bit, and then we recorded a few jams.
Yeah.
But for philosophy, we linked up. Hippie set it up. Got in touch with his homie Kidero.
Yeah.
And we set a day. So we had a location and we had a day.
Yeah.
And the team that we were going to work with.
Yeah.
There was Onyango, there was Chege, and a bunch of other people on their team, the colleagues of theirs, you see. So we got to Athi-River. Yeah, Athi-River. Got to Athi-River, somewhere in the wilderness, because I mean that's where it was.
Yeah, man. If you haven't seen the video, man, check it out.
Yeah, check it out. It's on YouTube. So we went to Athi-River, set it up, and beforehand we didn't have a storyboard for this, so we went there and guys got down to, you know, brainstorming, that type of thing.
We sure on the spot,
you know. Daryl came to pull out his drones and shit.
Yeah.
And we did the thing. There's, you know, a few challenges over here and there. People don't understand what drones are. So
how comes if I watched the video, there aren't any drone shots.
Yeah, now that's the thing. We weren't able to get any drone shots because there was a camel pen right next to the path we were using to shoot, and these the shepherds wanted us to pay them. So, you know, like, we you know, in the process of haggling with them, arguing, telling them like we're not taking footage of the camels, blah blah blah.
Yeah, for sure.
We ran through the battery charge for the drones, and yeah, that was it. So we got no footage for the drones.
Damn.
Yeah.
Despite having the actual drone.
Despite actually having the drone over there, you know, which is, it's actually hilarious. But in the grand scheme of things, we did the thing. We went there and we accomplished the task, and it actually came out quite well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So, any music videos for coming soon?
If I'm to, it's not, we haven't scheduled, you know, like, there's no confirmed release date.
Yeah, for sure.
But that would be Legio Maria.
Legio Maria.
Yeah, coming soon. I don't know when, but it's a vibe.
Yeah, why did you pick the name though, Legio Maria Freestyle?
So last year I was living in Riruta, and Hippie was my neighbor, but we had a common challenge, and there was just this church that used to, you know, excuse my French, fuck up the night, you know, like the wananza misa usiku, and it's just this guy's praying in tongues, you know. So it's the last thing that you'd want to wake up to in the middle of the night,
for sure.
You know. But
in the night, what time?
Yo, I mean, I'm going to take a piss at like 2 a.m. and it's just
they're still live.
Ululations, you know. Like that's the peak of the day is, you know, thick of the night. So yeah, out of frustration, it just happened, like it all panned in together. We recorded the jam.
Yeah.
Tui came through, Swamiii came through, recorded it, and we're like, yo. At the same time, again, Hippie and I were lamenting about this church. And we're like, yeah, that's why this jam is going to be called Legio Maria Freestyle.
Oh, for sure.
Because, again, these people would have their processions, you know, maybe on Sundays, and you'd see them in regalia or whatever I'd call it, with the drums and shit.
Yeah.
So, like, yo, this jam is for you fuckers.
Wait, but do you get a discount just because these guys are making noise right beside the apartments? Do you get a discount just because you're living over there?
I wish I did. You know, we talked to the management. Yo, I went to the chief. I didn't even know where the chief's office was.
Yeah.
At one point in time, I went to the chief, and it was a woman, and she told me, yo, you guys are not the first to come here complaining about this, you know. So it was clearly futile.
So everybody just accepted it and moved on.
Now here's the thing, because that was the time during the curfew was still in effect.
Oh, for sure.
They'd send cops, you know, as they do their patrols at night.
Yeah.
They'd send cops, but these guys knew what time the cops would stop doing their patrols. Okay. So as soon as the cops stopped doing their thing,
these guys come through.
Is when they come through. You see, so it was like cat and mouse, Tom and Jerry type things.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Like, we looked for this dude. At a point in time, we even had his number. I think he changed it. You know,
He changed it.
This guy was sly as, you know, as it gets. So yeah, man, Legio Maria is for this dude. I think I forgot his name.
Yeah.
But it was that bad. Like, I knew his name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, the Get Hip Festival was done independently by yourself, right?
Yes.
So like, what's been your experience like promoting your event independently versus having an external promoter? How's it been?
I'd say this one thing, you have much more control.
For sure.
You have much more control. Things can always go bad, but how do I put it? In the event that things actually don't work out, or they do work out, it's usually close to the possibilities that you set out. Like, in as much as if you're making eggs, chances are you break a few of them, you know.
For sure.
Yeah, so if you have everything planned out, then even if something goes wrong, it's within your reach. Like, you can always counter it and salvage things at the end of the day.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So it's kind of better to be independent.
It's better to be independent. It's more tasking. It's more work.
Yeah.
But you're in control, and it's control is something very difficult to let go of. Whereas if someone else is running the event for you or doing those things, then there's things that you generally find yourself, you're very particular about them, and you like them to be executed in a certain way. You see.
Sure.
So if you're not independently running your own events, if you're not independently working on your own craft, then sometimes you don't have a say.
For sure.
Yeah.
So that's what you wanted. You wanted complete control over your project.
Yes, because I mean, at this point we have complete control of our music, you know.
For sure.
We have complete control over distribution, sales, all those things. So why stop there, you know? If you're going to do your shows, you might as well just do it. And after, when Hippie did the Hissy demo, it was an independent affair, you know. He did it, he ran the thing himself, and I mean, we even got paid, you see. So the fact that he could do it, like he could execute a show successfully on his own, and he's done it once, means that we could do it again and again and again, and we don't really need to depend on the structures that be. We can work with them, not work under them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like, which artists were you listening to before you started your music?
Okay, I grew up listening to a lot of Lil Wayne. I grew up listening to Big Crit, UGK, the old Drake.
You don't like the new Drake?
I detest the new Drake. I detest. I just.
What did you think about his album? The last one.
Honestly.
Did you even listen to it?
Imagine I tried to. I tried to, but I kept skipping. So by the time I skipped the second jam, I think
you're done.
I was done. To be honest, the last album by him that I loved was Nothing Was the Same.
Nothing Was the Same.
Like after that, my best jam was Worst Behavior. It was just to this day, you know. But from there, like, nah, man. But yeah, Lil Wayne, Drake, Kendrick really influenced my writing, especially when I was fresh up out of high school. Even Lupe, especially Lupe, when I started writing in because I started in primary, but I wasn't really serious about it. You know, I was just trying shit out. But Lupe Fiasco was just
Lupe
insane,
Fiasco,
you know.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, those are some of the influences. Maybe there's those who don't come to mind, but
those are the ones you can remember. Yep. Interesting. You listened to Lil Wayne, Drake. How comes you didn't end up being a trapper?
When you start making music, or rather, when you start producing, like trap is level 1.
For sure.
when I started watching tutorials and stuff, I wanted to make Mike Will type beats, you know.
Mike Will made it.
Yeah. So it was something I did until I think I exhausted my interest in it. Or rather, I found more challenging genres to work on, you know. Because when I started making beats, I could listen to them, and then I wanted to make beats that sounded like that, music that sounded like that, but it was a struggle getting it to sound like that, because when you start making music on FL, it just all sounds like techno, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I trap is what we started with, but I don't know, with time it grew redundant, you know. And then I personally feel like it got to that point where when Young Thug came up, you had to sing on trap. You just had to sing, you know, like you could no longer rap. Even
sure.
Rick Ross kind of, you know, took a break because the whole scene changed, you see. So
for sure.
Yeah, so I really used to like trap, but then I think I just grew out of it. Though there's just particular tracks and there's particular artists, like when Kanye does a trap record,
for sure,
he does something and he never seems to miss. So,
sure.
Yeah.
So like, what are your future projects after? Let's talk after Family Friends collaborative album. What's the next move for you guys?
To be honest, I've always looked at this thing we do as, I look at it on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I'll cross the bridge when I get to it. So for a long time I've looked at it as, let me just focus on today. This is, you know, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
Let me get to today's session, knock out my 2-3 tracks or 1 track, and do the same next week. And after, you know, a year, I'll have at the very worst like 52 tracks. But also I've made a lot, and I mean a lot of music with Kilihippie, a lot of it unreleased, and I'm still adding on top of that. But I'm also branching out, and it's the same for all of us, because Hippie has worked with quite a good number of artists. There's a jam he produced that got synced to a movie, an Indian movie. I'm sure he's getting. You know
the name what's the name of the film?
I don't know the name of the film, but I know the artist.
Yeah.
Natasha Nurani, I believe. Yeah.
So it got synced.
It got synced. This guy got cake off of this jam. You know, film money.
Instrumental alone.
I don't know. Now usually, like, you send them it's called a 3-piece. You send the instrumental, the track, and then the vocals. But yeah, made money off of that. So basically, in as much as we're family friends and we work on music collaboratively, Tui has projects that he wants to work on with other artists and producers, and the same goes for Swamiii, and the same goes for me. So as it is, I'm working on another project. It's taking time to shape up, but that's usually the case.
Yeah.
So definitely, like, there's still that the possibility, or we're allowed to branch out, and everyone is busy.
So man, think what it's been great having you on the podcast, man.
Yeah,
man,
thank you
pleasure,
for
man.
having me.
Great artist. Where can they find you if you wanted to check out your music?
So on Instagram, that's _BoiBlacc. That's BoiBlacc. You can find my music on YouTube. That's BoiBlacc. And you can find my music on Spotify, multiple streaming platforms, Apple Music, SoundCloud as well. Same name, BoiBlacc. But yo, man, it's been a pleasure.
For sure, man.
Yeah.
Been a pleasure as well.
Yeah.
Great having you on the podcast. We'll definitely have you on the podcast as soon as you drop the album again.
Yeah.
It's an album.
Yeah. It's gonna be an album. Yeah.
Album this year.
Can't say for sure, no release date inside.
But we're looking forward to have you again on the podcast.
Yeah.
So make sure you check out BoiBlacc's music. 36 Method Lee. BoiBlacc. Let's go. Let's get it.
Peace.
Yo.